The following was recorded in front of a live studio audience at the Studio 21 Podcast Cafe. This is the United Podcast Network.
Welcome to the Sicilian Corner, winner of the Italian Heritage Media Award, with your hosts, Tom Zappola and Mike Lamazzo.
Mikey boy.
Hi, Tommy boy.
How do I look? I have some color?
You do. You do. I like the fact that you got your glasses on today, too.
Why is that?
Well, the last couple of weeks, Tommy, the bags under your eyes were really showing.
You know, you're an ass. You are. You know, we have a conversation behind the scenes, and I said, you know something, Mikey? I kind of like, sometimes I look like I have bags under my eyes, and you broadcast it. What the hell's wrong with you?
No comment.
How you doing, brother? Everything good?
Yeah, knock on wood. A beautiful day here in New Hampshire. Yeah, things are good. I just wish that we'd get some snow for those of us that are on well water. We really need, we're so far behind, Tommy. I don't know what the hell's going to happen.
I tell you what, you're behind. You would not believe how little snow there is down here. We haven't had snow in 70, 80 years. I mean, it's ridiculous.
You got a beautiful day ahead of you?
Partly cloudy, 74. We're supposed to get some rain about 3 o'clock after the show. I'm going to just go for a nice bike ride. Ellen and I went out last night.
I was just going to say, you guys roamed out of the apartment for...
Yeah, we've been, seriously, all kidding aside, we have been working, really working, put a lot of hours in between what we're doing, this book project and a few other things. So last night we had a date night. And we went to, on Singer Island, there's a Hilton Hotel. They have a great little indoor-outdoor, kind of like a beachy front restaurant called Coconuts.
I like it. I
so
like
we
it
went
already.
There, sat at a high top, watched the cruise ships go by. I had a couple of cocktails and came home.
Tommy,
It was good.
About 8 or 9, maybe 10 years ago, there was a bad storm that hit Singer Island. And one of the hotels was literally tilted a little bit. What did they ever do with that?
Believe it or not, that's an interesting story. It's called the Tiara. Is the name of the skyscraper.
I like the name.
It was called the Tiara. It was the first one built. It was probably about 14 years ago.
Was it that long ago?
It was such a bad hurricane, and we had no problems here. Because of the way we're set up.
You're behind it, so that they get the brunt of it.
It's a barrier island between the ocean and us. We have the intercoastal.
Right.
Anyway, make a long story short, it was so bad that the furniture was just being tossed out of top floor windows. And this is probably a 30-story high
I remember.
rise.
We went to look at it, yeah.
And the whole thing, so listen, so the top floors was selling at the time for 6, 7, 8 million. And they wound up
14 years ago.
Condemn the building. They condemned the building.
Yep.
And a lot of people walked away from their mortgages and stuff. And they wound up, believe it or not, reinforcing the building.
Had to jack it up.
And they sold the condos for $450,000 a piece. After the bank foreclosed on whoever shipped them, they sold them and now it's beautiful again.
So the people really took a beating.
Now they're worth in the millions again.
Jesus.
I don't like those high rises though. I just don't like them. I like being on the first. We're on the first floor. There's only there's only 2 buildings here, and there's only 5 floors per building. And we're on the first because we like it. We can literally step right out
your lanai onto the grass,
onto
into
the
the
lawn,
pool.
by the pool and by the water on one side and the canal on the other side.
Yeah, it's a nice setup.
Yeah, we like it. Really. Yeah. Listen, Mikey, a couple of things. I want to give a shout out to this kid. His name is, bear with me. His name is Davion Johnson. This kid is a 6th grader in Oklahoma. And yesterday or the day before, he's 6th grade. In one day, he saved a classmate's life who was choking and jumped in and performed the Heimlich maneuver on the kid and saved his life.
Wow.
Then he was walking home from school and there was a house on fire. And there was an old woman with a walker trying to get out of the house. He ran across the street, pulled her out,
Are you kidding?
threw her into the car, and saved her life. So hats off to this kid. He's getting honored all over the state.
Well, he should.
His name is Daniel Johnson. Very, 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 very.
Would you say Banyan?
Daniel,
D.
Davion, Davyon Johnson. Kind of cool.
Hey,
Cool.
no, that's great. Did you save anybody yesterday?
I did.
Yeah.
I saved myself because I tripped, and right before I hit the floor, I grabbed the wall. So I did save myself.
That's good. You should get something for that. Some kind of a
Listen,
merit
we got a good
badge,
show
right?
today. We got the last two segments. We have our good friend Johnny Savastano is going to be joining us in the studio, sitting next to Mikey. Johnny owns Savastano's restaurant, but we're gonna bring Johnny in because his wedding soup is like to die for, and everybody in the Merrimack Valley loves it. So we're going to pick his brain, and we're going to get him.
And his relatives, Tommy. I mean, everybody heard of Savastano's Catering and Savastano's restaurant.
Mikey, he also told me it's a very simple recipe. So we're going to get him up
the wedding soup is.
Right.
The wedding soup is.
And then,
David,
everybody.
I just want to say, David, if people want to ask John some questions on Facebook, they just have to do what?
Just write the note in Facebook, and we'll ask the question, and we'll go from there.
And we'll give you a name, and we'll tell them the question that you have, and we'll ask John. Right?
Right on.
And we can get a lot more people. We can get a lot more people in that way instead of trying to take phone calls.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
All right. So if you have a question for John, or you have a comment, like Andy Parisi, who's always in there having the wedding soup, he loves it. He just loves it.
I've had it, Mike. It's fabulous. It's really good. So we're going to pick his brain, see if we can get that recipe. And, you know, when we were kids, there was Joe's Bungalow. We all remember Joe's Bungalow, right?
Joe Giles.
What was he famous for, Mikey?
Chicken Bob.
Chicken Bob's. Now,
but you know the secret there that they don't do now?
What's that?
You know something? I'm going to wait, and I'm going to ask Johnny Savastano, I think. It's a whole different... Joe Giles used to use... No, I'll tell you. I'll share the secret with you. Joe Giles used to use fowl. He would buy cases of fowl.
What the hell is fowl?
We'll talk about that. But that's what he made all his chicken bobs out of. That's why they had that distinctive flavor. And I don't even know if Johnny Savastano knows it. I'm sure he does. But
well, Johnny's are great. But
Johnny's is ice cream.
For those of you that are watching us from other parts outside of the Merrimack Valley here in Massachusetts, we call it a chicken barbecue. The only thing is, it's like the polar opposite of a chicken barbecue.
Yeah,
sandwich.
There's no barbecue sauce on it.
There's no barbecue sauce. It's not like Southern barbecue, but we'll explain it to you. It's very simple, but I've always loved it.
The Bungalow, Joe Giles, it actually, I believe, started at the Tally Ho, Tom. I don't know if you remember the Tally Ho.
No, Mikey, I think Joe started it first, and then the Tally Ho picked up his. I'm pretty sure. But, you know, Mark Leone could answer that question.
Why? Is Mark a professional?
He is a professional chicken bob, absolutely. Mike Variali. Mike Variali, Mike's a good guy. He's a DJ out in Long Island. He refers to it as Rico's fowl, F-O-W-L balls. Rico's fowl balls.
But I'm almost positive that's what they used. Have you heard from Rico? Do you see him at all, Tommy?
Talked to Rico yesterday. No, we see each other on camera. Rico's on the West Coast. I'm on the East Coast. So
is he doing the show with you? There. Is he doing your show today?
Oh yeah. He's on. Yeah, Mallory's out today. Rico's on with us today. David, did you know that? You knew that, right?
I did. Yeah, I got your email. We're doing On Deck with Rico. It'll be a great show.
Yeah. Rico's good today. But anyway. We're going to be seeing them early part of March. We're going to be going over to the West Coast. I'm meeting with some of my college friends, and we'll hook up with Rico and Elsie, have some dinner.
West Coast is very civilized.
Excuse me?
West Coast of Florida, in my opinion, is very civilized. There's a lot of social, something. Fort Lauderdale, you got, some Sarasota.
Excuse me. What about Tampa?
Tampa's good. Tampa's nice.
Yeah. Tampa's great.
You got a beautiful stadium.
Tampa is like Springfield.
I beg to differ with you, but that's okay.
Tampa is.
No, I mean, like I said,
Tampa's an armpit.
Where you are, it's a nice area, but you get down toward Fort Lauderdale, you get into Miami. I mean, it's so, I don't know, it does nothing for you. You go into Sarasota, you have events that you can go to. You have some beautiful museums.
So you're going to compare Sarasota with Palm Beach?
I'm sorry?
You're going to compare Sarasota with Palm Beach?
I think Sarasota has more offerings than Palm Beach. Yeah, I do.
I disagree.
Okay.
I disagree.
Anyway. And I'm not knocking. I love Palm Beach.
No, Palm Beach is beautiful.
And I love the Sarasota area, too.
So Gary Frescarelli, he enlightened us, Mikey. He said that Wallace's in North Andover began the chicken barbecue sandwich back in the 1940s. Gary, thank you very much.
I never heard that name before. Thank
cool.
you very, very much. That's cool. Hey, Tommy, we were talking about that Ford Shelby that was discovered in the barn.
Did you read that article?
Wow. Unbelievable. Why don't you tell our listeners a little something about it?
I read this article. There was this guy that kind of searches these kinds of cars out. He got word that there was an abandoned house that had an abandoned barn, and that there may be some cool stuff in there, some auto parts. He was looking for auto parts.
Yeah.
And he went and he talked to the owner. The owner says, "Give me X amount of dollars for whatever's in there. You can have it." And in there was a 1965
Listen to this.
Shelby convertible. Was it a Mustang, Mikey?
Yeah,
Mustang.
Shelby Mustang.
Worth $350,000.
It's unreal.
Once he gets it totally restored, he could get up to $500,000 for it.
Yeah. The exterior is really in bad shape. The motor's seized naturally because it hasn't been run. The interior isn't bad at all. I saw some pictures of it, but it has to be restored. But there were also another four other cars in there besides that one. And this was an abandoned.
I didn't know that.
This was an abandoned house, and they found these inside in this garage.
Yeah. Hey, one other thing. There's another car that is going up for auction, I think, on Monday. And this is a really cool car. There's only two in the world. Did you ever see the movie Tootsie? You remember the movie Tootsie with Dustin Hoffman? You guys remember that?
Mm-hmm. I saw it, but I don't remember much of it. Do you see it, Chrissy?
I've seen it so many times.
It's a 1956 Buick, whatever, beautiful convertible. Dustin Hoffman, after the movie ended, he bought the car, and the producer, there were only two, and the producer of the movie bought the other car. But Dustin Hoffman, obviously, he's like 80, I think he's 82 or 83 now. He doesn't drive it anymore, so he's putting it up for auction on Monday. And I think he's going to sign the dashboard, and I think the bidding is going to start at like $250,000 or something.
Wow. You were talking about the Shelby, just to get back to it. There was only 352 of them made.
How many?
352.
When they first came out?
Yeah, Carroll Shelby. And that particular GT, it kicks out 302 horsepower. It's a 289 engine.
I'm not a car guy. David, are you a car guy?
Not really. I know how much they cost. That's about it.
All right.
You know how to drive one.
I know how to drive.
You know how to drive one.
Unless I get
I know
pulled
this
over.
is going to be like, people are going to look at me like I have 8 heads. So when they use the word horsepower, 362 horsepower, does that mean
302.
it has the same like energy that a pull or strength that 352 horses would have?
I think that's the relationship to it.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I thought
It's the
that, but-
equivalency of.
Really?
Yeah.
352 horses.
302 horses, I said.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. Interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah.
There was something else. Tell me about those. We were talking before the show about the two phonies that you were talking about.
You know something? I have to be really careful here because I know I could get my Kulu into some trouble here.
No, you could get our Kulu into some trouble.
Yeah, I know. But
we got a couple of minutes.
Milo Enterprise is Mike Lamazzo. M-I for Mike, L-O for Lamazzo.
All right, so let's preface this next statement that's going to be made by my dear older brother, partner, friend, Mike Lamazzo, that ATS Communications has nothing to do with what's
nothing
going to come out
whatsoever.
of his mouth. Yeah, Mike,
Reverend Al Sharpton,
he's an ass.
an ass. The guy is a schmuck. I mean, you know something? He instigates more trouble. David, I don't know if you agree with this, but this guy here, when I call him a racist, and I know some people are going to take objection to that, but he seems to instigate things, Tommy. He really does. If there's a camera, if there's some national news, this guy, he will not pass up an opportunity. He's worse than you, Tom. And I never thought somebody could be worse than you. If there's a camera anywhere, this guy is going to go there. You know? Anyway, back in 1991, a kid by the name of Gavin Cato, C-A-T-O, was accidentally killed by a motorcade of Jews in Crown Heights, Brooklyn, New York. Well, the family asked Dr. Sharpton to deliver the eulogy. This is what this guy says, and in a standing, couldn't move in the church. It was completely full. This is what he says. All we want to say is what Jesus said. Now he's quoting Jesus. If you offend one of these little ones, you got to pay for it. No compromise, no meetings, David, no coffee, no skinning and grinning. This is what he says at the pulpit as he's talking to these people. Now, Jesus said no coffee, no skinning and grinning? Really? I don't think so. I don't think so. The next day, there was a riot in the neighborhood, and a Jewish youth was killed in retaliation. This is a man of peace? I ask you that. Is this a man of peace?
I don't like the guy.
All right.
I personally don't.
Phony number 2. And this guy here should be in Sing Sing or wherever jail happens to be open. You ever hear of this fellow? His name is Peter Popoff.
No.
First of all, the last name Popoff should send up alarms anyway, right?
Oh, God.
This guy's as phony as a $3 bill. He's a con artist, 100%. He was a televangelist, and he was doing very, very well for himself. He was drawing thousands of people to his talks. He got caught cheating at one of his televangelist meetings. And basically what's happened is his wife, Elizabeth, would ask people to send in prayer cards. It would have their name, their address, their ailment, what they were looking for divine intervention to help them with, all right? So Peter Popoff would get out there. He'd have an ear set. He had a small little microphone in his ear, and his wife, Beth, would turn around and say, Mary Smith, row 3, seat 5. She has an ailment with her knee, and she can't stand it. And he would get out in front of all these people, and there'd be 3,000-4,000 people there that paid good money to be there. And he would turn around and say, quiet, please, quiet. God is speaking to me. And he would turn around and say, would Mary Smith in row 3 please stand up? And this little old lady would stand up, and she could barely stand. It says, you're here, you're looking for intervention, divine intervention, to help you with your legs or your knee. And we're going to give that to you now. I bless you. And this is all coming from his wife, giving him all the information. Well, they found him out.
And he got caught.
He got caught. So they banned him. Now he's back on TV. The guy is doing other ads. And he's selling this stuff called Peter Popoff Miracle Water. Now, if you said to me that you were going to have miracle water, I could believe you trying to do that because you've got that in you. You know, you're always thinking out of the box. Peter Popoff's Miracle Water. You send for it. He sends it to your house. And if you receive it, Tom, you keep that next to you for one day. You know what's going to happen, Tom?
No clue, Mike.
David, any idea? You're going to start receiving checks from people you do not know.
There we go.
Chrissy.
All right, listen, we got to take a break, Mikey. Listen, when we come back, we're going to talk about, I know Johnny's going to
I got more on Peter Popoff, but that's okay.
When we come back, we're going to talk to Johnny Sevastano, but I also want you to talk about our good friends at Butcher Boy when we come back. Hang in there, and we will be right back.
Where is John Sevastano?
Looking for that something special? All of us here at the Sicilian Corner suggest trying Ristorante Uno, located at 119 Salem Street in Boston's historic North End. For the most exquisite dining experience in an intimate setting that serves authentic regional Italian cuisine and features old country service. Try Ristorante Uno. Did we mention their award-winning wine cellar? Ristorante Uno, 119 Salem Street in Boston's historic North End. Call 617-573-9406 for reservations. That's 617-573-9406. Tell them the boys from the Sicilian Corner sent you.
Today, Lawrence General Hospital has affiliations with leading Boston academic medical centers. Top specialists from Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center and Floating Hospital for Children at Tufts Medical Center work with our local doctors to bring world-class care close to home. Today, amazing partnerships are happening at Lawrence General Hospital. To learn more, visit lawrencegeneral.org/today.
Italian artisan cuisine combines simple, fresh ingredients with time-honored preparation to create an incredible culinary experience. At Tuscan Kitchen, located in Salem's historic Depot District, talented chefs prepare everything in-house from scratch for all to see. Guests enjoy their meal literally in our kitchen as food is prepared right in front of you. Wood ovens burn from morning till night, roasting vegetables, baking bread, and firing delightful thin-crust pizzas. Prime steaks are seared on a wood grill. A rotisserie slowly roasts marinated whole chickens and lamb, while a pasta maker creates fresh fettuccine. More than just artisan cuisine, Tuscan Kitchen features the wine bar, live entertainment, weekly wine tastings, and elegant private dining and event space. Call 603-952-4875 or visit TuscanKitchen.com to make a reservation and learn more about the culinary adventure that awaits. In Italy, cooking is an art form. Tuscan Kitchen. Experience artisan Italian.
Essex Orthopedics and Optima Sports Medicine each pleased to announce the opening of their American College of Radiology accredited MRI unit at their location at 16 Pelham Road in Salem, New Hampshire. So now, in addition to receiving the best orthopedic care in the Merrimack Valley, as well as physical and occupational therapy at Optima Sports Therapy and Rehab, you can also have your MRI, all in one convenient location. The doctors and staff of Essex Orthopedics and Optima Sports Medicine have been dedicated to providing outstanding medical care to the Merrimack Valley in southern New Hampshire since 1984. Located on Route 97, just off Exit 2 from Route 93 North, on the second floor of the Workout Club of Salem. You deserve the best care, and that's exactly what you'll get from the board-certified surgeons at Essex Orthopedics and Optima Sports Medicine. Please call 603-898-2244 to schedule an appointment.
A loyal sponsor for the Sicilian Corner is Hilton Oil Company. Hilton Oil has been located right across from the South Lawrence Common since 1932 at 101 South Union Street. Hilton Oil Company specializes in 24-hour burner service, oil deliveries, including automatic deliveries, serving all the Merrimack Valley area, plus portions of southern New Hampshire. If you want your car fixed right the first time, bring it to Hilton's state-of-the-art service station. Remember, Hilton's is also a Mass State Inspection Station. Hilton Oil Company, 101 South Union Street in Lawrence. Call 978-687-9793.
This is Cindy
and Mike Kunstler,
owners of Grazie Italian Restaurant in Dracut, Massachusetts,
the hidden gem of the Merrimack Valley.
In addition to spectacular views overlooking our golf course, we have an incredible Italian chef, Benny Curti.
Benny was born and raised in Italy and came to be our executive chef in 2013.
Benny is so passionate about cooking. If you haven't experienced the food at Grazie Italian Restaurant, you're truly in for a treat.
Grazie Italian Restaurant, located at Four Oaks Country Club.
Okay, we are back. Johnny's running a little late, Mike. He'll be here in about 10 or 15 minutes. But in the meantime, we got some other stuff to talk about. But why don't you tell us, what's the latest at Butcher Boy? What's going on?
Well, I thought that we'd just talk about their kitchen and deli, a little something different. I mean, they have such available products, a variety of products. It's unbelievable. For hot sandwiches, meatball subs, chicken cutlet subs. From the kitchen, they have rotisserie chicken, baby back ribs. A lot of places don't sell baby back ribs.
Hold on now. These are baby back that are already prepared, Mikey?
These are cooked. All you got to do is take them home, heat them up, and you're ready to go.
No kidding.
For soups, Friday, how about a nice clam chowder or a corn chowder? That's available. The Butcher Boy, once again, is located in North Andover, right on Route 125. The actual physical address is 1077 Osgood Street, right near Lake of Chickwicke. And I'll tell you, the products that homemade puddings. Who makes homemade puddings?
Ellen does.
Oh, really?
At home. No, she doesn't. It's the instant stuff.
But Tommy, rice, grape nut, I mean, and salads, if you're watching your weight, caprese, grilled chicken, antipasto. I mean, at the Butcher Boy, you can find not only the best quality meats that you can get, but take a look at what they have for prepared foods.
I'll tell you, Mikey, rice pudding is the most underrated pudding in existence on earth. I'm telling you, rice pudding is fabulous.
Really?
I love it. I love it.
How about you, David? Do you ever have rice pudding?
It's delicious. I like it a lot.
You like it?
I do too.
Yep, I like it.
Some people don't like it because of the texture.
No, it's great.
I like it when it's done
You know what
right.
it does, Tommy? It tickles my tongue. I don't know.
I'm not going to touch that, Mike.
No, I'm just saying. You said texture, David.
Yeah,
I'm not going to touch
That's what
that.
I get. I get a little bit of. I get a sensation in my tongue.
Hey, listen. I want to recommend a book. That if this book, I just started reading it, and I didn't know a lot about him. It's called The Accidental President, and it was on. I guess it was on the New York Times bestseller list about a year ago.
Yep.
And it's about Harry S. Truman. But the thing that's interesting about this book, it's not about his biography or any of this. It's just about his first 4 months in office as president of the United States. I'm telling you, it is mesmerizing how this guy got to become president, number one, and what he had to endure the first 4 months in office. Think about this, Mikey. Well, first of all, he had no business getting nominated to be vice president. Everybody was
neither
shocked.
does the vice president that we have today. She has no business being elected.
Don't
get me going.
May I continue?
She's useless.
May I continue?
Tell me about FDR. What happened to him?
He died.
Okay.
So what happens is FDR drops dead. So Truman, who knows, hasn't done a thing. What his vice presidency consisted of was swimming, playing tennis, and playing poker with guys in Congress, because he was the president of the Senate, and drinking bourbon. And FDR gave him he had no responsibilities, none, zero.
Yeah.
So now FDR drops dead. And as a matter of fact, when that's all happens, he's on his way to the Senate because Sam Rayburn, the Speaker of the House, is going to get a poker game going. So he was bringing the booze. He was bringing the booze and all of that stuff. Make a long story short, obviously the president's dead. They get him to the White House. Now think about the next 4 months.
Wait, we got World War II is going on, right?
Right. FDR dies. Hitler commits suicide. This isn't the first 4 months of his. Mussolini, he gets captured with Clara Petacci, and they execute them. The Russians invade Berlin, and Eisenhower finally gets into the concentration camps and cannot believe what he sees.
Can't even imagine.
Can't imagine it. And then to top it all, Truman has no idea that our scientists have been working behind the scenes to make an atomic bomb. No clue. He had no clue. So finally, when all this is happening, they bring him in. They bring him into the war room, and they said, "Mr. President, we have finished the atomic bomb." And basically, he's saying, "What are you guys talking about?"
Unbelievable.
And he made the call.
He made the call to drop the bomb?
To drop the bomb. It was his call. He made the call to drop the bomb on Hiroshima and then Nagasaki.
You know, there's a train of thought regarding that. Eisenhower thought the Japanese were ready to retire. They're ready to quit. They thought they were beat. And he was not in favor of dropping those bombs. I think Truman felt that it would save a lot of lives if they ended this as quickly as possible.
That's what the rationale was. Long term, it would save lives. You know something, Mike? Again, that's a
what a judgment. You have to make that decision.
How does a human being make that call?
Man.
How do you make that call? I mean, I can't even fathom making a call like that.
Tommy, you followed Truman with this book. Didn't he set up NATO? And during his,
he was. Well, that was the whole other thing.
Yeah.
I mean, he was involved, Mikey, with following up where FDR, left off with how they were going to split up. Like, Stalin, for instance, they were supposed to be our allies. But as soon as the Russians got into Poland, Stalin's whole attitude changed, saying, "Hey, guess what, guys? You know something? Now we're going to take over Poland." So he was fighting that as we were defeating the Nazis and the Japanese.
Yep.
The Russians were starting to flip on us. Thus, the beginning of the Cold War.
Sure.
It's a really interesting book. I mean, the guy went through. And
what's the name of the book?
The name of the book is The Accidental President. I highly recommend it. Highly recommend it. Very good book.
Wow.
Very good book.
I think I'd like to read that.
Yeah, I think I really do. It's enjoyable. And you know what the best part about it is? It's not one of those books that is stale at the beginning. Boom! As soon as you're off, after the first page, you're off and running.
One thing we should tell our listeners, though, Tommy, Truman was as down to earth a person. He had no ambitions of glory. I mean, this is a guy. I think he was born in Missouri, wasn't he? He was from the Midwest.
Mikey.
He had a station. He had a station.
5 times.
He had a station wagon. He drove to the White House in his station wagon. When Eisenhower got elected that day, him and Elizabeth got in their car, and they drove off. He used to pay for his own stamps, all communication.
Exactly.
He used to pay for his own stamps and lick the stamps to put them on the freaking thing.
And not only that, Mikey, but
there was no pension either.
Think about this. You're vice president of the United States, right? His wife used to do their own laundry.
I know.
Cook their own food, go grocery shopping. They did it all. That's just the way he lived. And one other thing, he had he had no political experience. I mean, before he became vice president, by some stroke of luck, he won a seat in Congress, and he doesn't even know how the hell he won that. But then he had side businesses going. He had a clothing company, a haberdashery company, went bankrupt, and all of them went bankrupt.
But the one thing that he did that you have to admire, David, when he got out as president, he got offers from all businesses, these big businesses, for a lot of money. And you know what he said to every one of them? You don't want me. You want the office that I held.
Really?
So that's what he told. And he turned down a ton of money. In 1952, his taxes were $13,000. That's what he made, $13,000. I mean, it was crazy. But they made his pension when they decided to give the president's $25,000 pension. They made his retroactive, so he got a nice chunk of money.
And he lived to be like in his 90s, Mikey, right?
Yeah. He was up there.
88. Yeah, I know he was up there. Hey, listen, before Johnny gets here, let's we got the football picks, Mikey. Cincinnati, who do you like, the Bengals or the Titans?
Titans.
David.
Hold on here. I'm writing this down. All right. Cincinnati, Tennessee, Milo takes. Who did you take? The Titans?
Titans.
All right. It's in Tennessee. I'm going to take Cincinnati. Cincinnati's going to pop them.
I agree.
You're taking
Cincy?
Cincy?
Cincinnati. And by the way, Mike, this is a bet. This is a bet. Whoever has the most wins has to send the other two individuals something special. Let's put it that way.
Well, you also owe Wayne and I a dinner, so don't forget that because I have it written on my wall.
I tried about the Patriots.
I think you're breaking up. You're breaking up.
All right, 49ers are the Packers, Mike.
I'm a Packers fan. Are we talking point spread here? Or we just talking?
No. Even up, even win.
They're playing in Green Bay, right?
Yep.
Correct.
I'm going to take San Francisco just for the hell of it.
Ooh, that's a bad one. They're going to get crushed.
Well, you know something, maybe so, but if you were betting them, there's 6.5 points. You need a touchdown to lose.
Aaron Rodgers is a choker in the playoffs, but I'm going to take Green Bay at home.
I'm going with Green Bay.
It's a good bet. It's a good
fair. It's easy.
But 7 points, you got to go the other way.
I hear you.
Go ahead.
Here's the best game of the weekend: Rams Buccaneers. I know who Mike's going with because he hates Tom Brady.
Given the fact that Brady lost his best lineman and pass protection.
No, that guy's back.
Huh?
He's back. He's playing.
No, I thought he was on the injured reserve today.
Oh, unless it happened. It happened today. Oh, I didn't know that.
No, he got hurt in last week's game, but he was in.
Oh, maybe you're right. Maybe
talking
you're right.
about the center, Jensen?
Yeah.
I don't know if he's playing.
All right. So who do you got? You got the Rams?
I think Brady's bus comes to a stop.
Ooh, he's taking the Rams. I'm taking the Rams too.
Something? You just don't like the guy.
I don't.
I want him to win it again. To be honest, I want him to win the Super Bowl. I just think the Rams are going to pop him there.
I do.
That's a poor game. But I'm looking for an upset.
Yeah, I think
I love the underdogs.
Yeah,
I'm going to go with Tampa Bay.
Okay.
Yeah, I figured you would.
All right, next.
Here's another great game. Buffalo. At Buffalo, I believe, correct?
No,
Kansas City.
No, Kansas City. They got the better record. I'll take Buffalo.
I think this is their year, Mike. I think I have to agree with you.
All right, you're taking Buffalo. I'm going to take Kansas City. I think they're going to weasel this one out.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. So what's the bet,
Tom?
boys? How about
you taking Buffalo, Tom?
I'll wait till I come home. How about a nice Sicilian sandwich from Borelli's?
How about a nice Sicilian sandwich from Savastano's?
Does he make them? I'm in.
You're in. Look who's here.
Let's take a quick break.
Yeah.
Johnny Savastano is in the house. He's going to be joining us in about 2 minutes. And there he is right there. So we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
This is David from the Sicilian Corner. You know, Mike, Tom, and I love to go to Salisbury Beach, but we love different things and we can never agree. Tom likes the casual family-style dining with great Italian cuisine, Capri Seaside Italian Grill. Me, I love the elegant romantic vibe, Sea Glass with the amazing view and terrific menu with prices that'll make it the place you want to visit every week. Mike loves a drink in his hand and a cool ocean breeze right off the surf and the rhythms of an even cooler reggae band. We all know Mike loves Bob Marley tunes at Surfside. Who doesn't love a great show? National acts, comedy, regional favorites in the beautiful and intimate Blue Ocean Music Hall. Lucky for us, Atlantic Hospitality is the host of all these great places, and they treat everyone like they're Mike Lamazzo. And best of all, we never have to choose. Park the car once and all of this fun is right at your fingertips. We can have it all in the heart of Salisbury Beach. Find out about all the ways you can have a great night at Salisbury Beach at NorthshorePavilion.com. And Mike, Tom, and I will see you there.
This is Tom Zappala. Located in the heart of downtown Haverhill, the Haverhill Beef Company is a full-service, old-fashioned butcher shop and meat market that continues to be a valued family tradition since 1952. Peter and Monica Carboni's Haverhill Beef offers individualized service from an outstanding selection of marinated sirloin tips, homemade sausage, marinated chicken, and thick, juicy Chairman Reserve steaks. Your family deserves the best, so call Peter at 978-374-4795 or visit their website at www.haverhillbeef.com.
Hi, this is Mike, and I would like to tell you about the Deborah Care Law Offices, a firm that is focused on estate planning, probate, trust administration, and elder law issues. issues. You will feel comfortable discussing important issues concerning both you and your loved ones, as well as having the information you need to make an informed decision about your family's future. How do I know? Because I'm a client of Dan Debricare. If you want to have peace of mind knowing that your loved ones are protected, call Debricare Law Offices today. In Massachusetts, 978-686-4645. In New Hampshire, 603-894-4141.
At Catadella Funeral Home, we reinvest in our business to provide your family with the best facilities. It begins with a beautifully landscaped exterior, parking for 250 vehicles, and a comfortable and inviting access to our renovated interior. Funerals can be costly, so you should review and compare plans to make sure you receive services that are fairly priced. I invite you to experience the Catadella difference in cost, facility, and service.
Catadella's honoring and celebrating the lives of the people we loved, providing exceptional care since 1929.
This is Cindy,
And Mike Kunstler,
owners of Grazie Italian Restaurant in Dracut, Massachusetts.
the hidden gem of the Merrimack Valley.
In addition to spectacular views overlooking our golf course, we have an incredible Italian chef, Vinnie Curti.
Benny was born and raised in Italy and came to be our executive chef in 2013.
Vinnie is so passionate about cooking. If you haven't experienced the food at Grazie Italian Restaurant, you're truly in for a treat.
Grazie Italian Restaurant, located at Four Oaks Country Club.
Okay, we are back, and our good friend Johnny Savastano from Savastano's Restaurant is in the house. Don't forget, you're listening to us from the Studio 21 Podcast Cafe. We are now part of the United Podcast Network. You can listen to us on iTunes, on Apple iTunes, Pandora, Alexa,
YouTube.
TuneIn Radio, 980 WCAP, iHeartRadio, our YouTube channel. Please subscribe. We'd love you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, and of course, the Sicilian Corner Facebook page, Spotify. What else? Everything else.
There you go. There you go.
And we're on. Johnny boy, how are you, buddy? I can't hear Johnny.
Oh, I'm good now, I guess.
Now we're good. John, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing really well. How are you, Tommy?
Good. Johnny, you know, we asked you to come in because
you knew I'd be late.
Oh yeah,
fashionably
yeah. Your wedding soup is like everybody in the Merrimack Valley likes it. One of our viewers, Andy Parisi, like.
Andy's one of his favorite customers.
Andy's a cousin.
Yeah.
Andy loves your soup, brother. So can we ask you to share a couple of recipes with us, or is this like proprietary?
None of it's proprietary.
And you mentioned it to me that the wedding soup is very, very simple, correct?
It's incredibly simple. It's just a matter of doing it. You could start off 2 or 3 different ways with it. I start off with a broth, obviously, and we go from there. From there, I add basically just carrots, celery, escarole, right? Then onion. And it's a little bit of garlic powder, some celery salt, and that's about
No, but
it.
hold on. But you said you use a broth, just a regular chicken broth?
Chicken broth.
And how do you go about making the chicken broth? I think is what some people would like to know.
Chicken broth is it's stock. You just take all your old bones, chicken bones, throw
You
them
put
in
a whole
pot.
chicken in it, maybe?
Yeah, you can do it that way too.
Yeah.
A lot of people do that. Like some people make their chicken barbs with whole chickens.
Yeah.
And if you're going to do that, you could put the chicken in there, make the stock with that chicken.
Sure.
And then use the chicken for the barbs.
Is that what you do, Johnny?
No, I do my barbs a whole different process.
Yeah, we're going to talk about those in a minute. Now, do you use any kind of in your soup, any kind of a pastina or any kind of a little pasta of some sort?
I use orzo.
Use orzo
Yep.
in the soup.
Yep. Basically, what we do is we keep it separate. And each dish, as we make the soup, we put the orzo in.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, well, otherwise it blows up.
It blows up, yeah.
You know,
Takes up all the liquid.
Yeah.
And what about meatballs?
Meatballs are in there. It's our regular meatball recipe that we use.
But they're mini.
They're mini, yeah, they're just smaller.
But Betty's, you need to have patience as you sit there. Little thimbleful, roll it.
Well, let me ask you. Let me ask you guys.
You
both a
just toss
question.
them in.
With the
You toss them
meatballs,
right into the broth, right? You don't cook them ahead. No.
That was my question, Mike. You don't brown those. You just drop
No,
them in.
those go right into the soup.
No
They
kidding.
get cooked in the soup.
How long do you cook the soup for, Johnny?
You got to have the meatballs up to 165, so there has to go at least, long enough to do that. Because I start the soup first, then the meatballs go in after the soup's cooking.
Gotcha. All right, it's
Then
interesting.
it goes. It's probably 45 minutes to an hour and a half. Depending upon
at least an hour and a
depending
half.
upon when those meatballs get cooked.
Now, John, you're open for breakfast and lunch.
And lunch, yeah.
When do you start? Like, I've always wondered this with your restaurant. I mean, you guys kick ass with breakfast. So, do you, while you're serving breakfast, are you or somebody else starting to prepare the lunch stuff, or do you do it the day before? How does that all work?
I was in his restaurant 2 days ago, and he wasn't around. So I said to Michael, I says, where's the big guy? He says, he's getting ready for lunch. So he's prepping, at 10 o'clock in the morning. They're prepping 9:30. They're prepping for lunch. So they're getting stuff ready. So you have to stay ahead of it. You have to stay ahead of the curve. Because if the clock hits 12 o'clock and all of a sudden you're serving lunch, you can't do it from scratch. It's impossible.
So how does it work for breakfast, Johnny? What time do you open? What are the hours?
We open at 7 and 2 most days.
And what time are you there prepping for breakfast?
I'm usually in about 6.
Okay, so it's not too bad.
6:10. But don't forget, not everything's prepped immediately. Some stuff can be done day ahead. But our potatoes are pre-boiled for our home fries. We do those ahead of time. So basically, I get those on the grill, with the onions and the stuff we put in them. That goes on early. The beans go on early. But the beans are made in a big pot, and then we just portion it out as we need it. So breakfast is easy. Lunch is where it gets tough.
Yeah.
When you start breading cutlets, cutting them from the loin, and then you go from there to make it. It is a lot of work.
What is your number one priority item? What do you sell the most of? Let's talk lunch now. Is there one thing? Two.
There's two. The cutlets and the chicken bobs go out the door.
Those are your biggest.
They have wings, yeah. They just keep
and people can call up and can order ahead of time. So you have takeout.
Oh, yeah.
You don't deliver, but they'll pick up.
Yep. You can pick up. We have catering as well.
Well, tell us about the catering.
Catering's basically what's always happened with me since '75 is that you just tell me what you want, and I'll price it out for you. If I gave you a catering menu of what I can cook, it'd be like War and Peace. It's crazy.
War and Peace.
So, basically just tell me what you like. I'll price out what the ingredients are. I'll put it together, give you a price, and we go from there.
Actually, that's the way to go, John.
Now, do you deliver it, or they come to you?
It's all come to me right now until
you can get
until the market opens back up and I can get enough people.
Yeah, that's the problem, huh?
Johnny, before you came on at the very beginning of the show, we were talking about your wedding soup and the chicken bobs, and there's a lot of people that are now watching this show from outside of the Merrimack Valley footprint.
Uh-huh.
So we tried to explain to them that a chicken bob is really not what they think a chicken bob is. It's not the Southern barbecue. It doesn't have any barbecue sauce.
Nope.
Is there any way that you can explain to our viewers and listeners outside of this area what exactly a chicken bob sandwich is? Because, folks, you're not going to believe it, but I can't tell you how tasty it is.
It's very simple to explain it to outsiders. First off, come here and try one. But if you really have to explain it, outsiders know what a pulled pork sandwich is. So tell them to make a pulled chicken sandwich, throw the barbecue sauce away, and put mayonnaise with it. Put it on a nice brioche bun that's been toasted, and a piece of lettuce. It's that simple.
That's simple.
It's that simple.
But isn't there a spice you put on it?
No.
Like little garlic powder or something, no?
I mean, there's garlic and stuff in the mix when you're boiling the chicken.
Oh, there is?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you have to season it.
Yeah, it took me 15 years to figure out what Joe Giles might have put in his. Because that's what I remember was Joe Giles.
Now, why don't you tell them how do you serve it and what type of bread?
It's a brioche bun. It looks like a hamburger roll, but I have it made at one of the local bakeries in Haverhill just for my chicken bobs. I don't use it for anything else. I use it for bobs and burgers.
You need something that's going to support the mayonnaise and the chicken because it's a wet sandwich, right?
It could be a wet sandwich if you don't, squeeze it out. Yeah. But the biggest thing is, if you're going to have one, I don't use my bread fresh. I use it a day old. Got to.
Oh, really?
Because of the moisture?
Because when you get bread a day old, it does this, right? It's squishy, right?
Right.
So if you use it a day old, you cut it. It's not squishy. Now you put the butter on, put it on the grill. That thing gives you a nice bite, and it holds onto the sandwich.
Oh, so that's right. You butter. I forgot that. You butter your bread and you grill
then you
that.
You got to grill it, yeah. Otherwise, it's not worth it.
I'll tell you what, I'm down here and now I'm getting aggravated because I would love a chicken bob and a fry. That's it, It's awesome. John, what about your some of your other really cool dishes? You have some pasta dishes, correct?
Yeah, we do a couple. We do ziti, we do a linguine dish. We'll go with meatball, sausage, cutlet, just to keep something like that on the menu.
How about your sauce? Why don't you tell people the sauce that you use has been in your family for years, right?
It's been in my family for
That's
years.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Now, your aunts had Savastanos.
My father's aunts.
Your father?
My
Great
father's
aunts. His great aunts.
My great aunts.
That was like 100 years ago, for Christ's sake.
No, but you know how many people are shaking their heads and saying, "Oh man, I remember Savastano's catering.
I get it
I
every
remember
day.
Savastano's restaurant.
Yo.
They catered."
Oh yeah.
The oldest sister, what was her name? She was
Rose.
like the sergeant.
I think that might have been Lucy.
Lucy.
Oh,
it was.
Lucy.
It was.
Lucy.
Tommy, I have to tell you, this lady, she did our wedding for us. She was like a drill sergeant. Man, you're running a little late. Bada bing, bada boom. We had 400 people, 420 to be exact, at St. Mary's Auditorium for our wedding. They ran that like a military operation.
It was amazing what I've seen them do. I was a little kid when they were really moving and shaking. But I used to go to, every wedding I ever went to was at Savastano's.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But I used to watch as a kid, and you pick up things and you don't know you do. The plates used to have an S on them. Everything had an S. That S had to be at 12 o'clock. If it wasn't at 12 o'clock, somebody was going to get
Seriously.
it. Yeah.
Now, there was nobody in the family that took that business over?
Nope.
Jeez, what a shame.
After
I
they
have
stopped.
such great fond memories. We got about 3 minutes, but I have such fond memories of that restaurant because, obviously it was on Oak Street or Elm? Oak, right?
Oak and
It
Short.
was on Oak Street. I lived on Havel Street, 2 streets over. And it was such a treat for my father. They were all hardworking, blue-collar people. For my dad to take us as a family to Savastano's for dinner. And, we would do it on
It was
a Friday
downstairs
night,
and
not
upstairs,
every
right?
Friday night or a Saturday night, but we do it maybe once every month and a half. But they were always going to functions there, Johnny, as you say.
Big time. Central Catholic.
But I'll tell you what was really good that they had there that a lot of people forget. Their baked stuffed lobsters were also very, very good.
Yeah.
They were very good.
No, I never had them there, Tom.
They were excellent. They were excellent.
I mean, my favorite in the world was over Abe Bashara's place.
I agree with you.
That's because he used to have that was a 2-pound lobster.
That was a 3-pound lobster.
3-pound lobster.
It was a 3-pound lobster, baked stuffed with lobster meat.
But then, hold on. But then wouldn't he put another lobster in it, loose lobster meat?
I don't know. There was a lot.
There was eat that, man. You want to take a nap.
Used to come out on
Even
a platter.
Chrissy couldn't eat the whole thing.
Used to come out on a platter, Tommy, right?
Make a bet?
And
I remember those, man.
The head and tail were hanging off the end. The claws were laying on the table.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They were 3-pounders.
Hey, Johnny, so what's your address? So how can people go to Savastano's for lunch, for breakfast?
319 Merrimack Street, right across the street from Borelli's, which has been there longer than me.
Johnny, again, I've been remiss, and I explained to you, we haven't, Ellen and I haven't ventured out too much with the COVID stuff. When we get back, looking forward. Ellen bugs me all the time. When are we going to go for breakfast? When are we going to go for breakfast? So
I'm there. I'm there most
I know
days.
you are.
We're kind of closed today, unfortunately.
Are you really?
Yeah, not enough staff.
That's unbelievable.
That's
Just
a serious
amazing.
problem. Everywhere.
And by the way, down here in Florida, same thing's happening.
Yep.
They have a staggered restaurant hours. It's just amazing what's happening. Just a lot of restaurants down here, same thing, closed 2 days, 3 days a week now. It is what it is. Hopefully it's going to come back.
But the numbers are dropping, which not much, but every day they're coming down,
Absolutely, and that's a good thing.
So that's a good thing.
All right, John, thanks for stopping by, even though you were late. We're going to do, I want to talk to you about the death of a great rock star today, Meatloaf.
Meatloaf.
Fabulous.
I loved him.
The guy was great, and he's a big loss to the music, but evidently he's had some health issues for quite a while. Mikey, what's up for the weekend?
Nothing. I'm so happy to say that. I say that with a smile. 0. Mikey, 0.
Thank
nice.
you with us. I'm just chilling this weekend.
I can't
I'm
wait.
going to chill.
I can't wait.
All right, guys, have a great week. Mikey, have a great week. Johnny, nice seeing you again. David,
Thanks for
Chrissy,
having
we
me,
love
guys.
you guys. And to our viewers and listeners, remember, if you can't make fun of yourself, please don't make fun of anyone.
Take care, everybody. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Enjoy.
Take care.
Audio Jungle.
The views and opinions expressed by the hosts, guests, or callers of this program do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the Studio 21 Podcast Cafe, the United Podcast Network, its partners, or affiliates.